up? How are you?
Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Shannon, shining through, laughs and insight, shining so bright. Keeping it real, it feels so right. Real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real.
Hello, and welcome to the show tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello to my co-hosts, Karen Nelson and Tiffany Shannon. How
How are
y'all
you?
doing?
Good.
Very
Well,
good.
we have some hot topics to talk about talk about tonight. I wanted to share with you one that I read, and I mean it's like unbelievable because I don't understand what this world is coming to. I was reading about this young lady. She found out she was pregnant again. She already has two children already. She lives with her mom. She doesn't have a job, just trying to survive. So her sister found out she was pregnant. So she went and told the mother. The mother got angry and said, "You brought shame, to the family." And she wanted to know who the father was. And if she couldn't name the father, she needs to move out. So she feels honestly that she never expected this to come from her mom. Her mom said, "I can't provide. If you can't provide the father's name, then you need to go because you need to be going getting money and stuff from him." So she asked the mother for $3,000 so she can move out and get started and buy baby stuff. Her mother refused to give her the money. At this point, she now wants to sue the mother for neglecting her while she's pregnant and not helping her with her children and the newborn. So, as a mother, me, I'm a mother. So I would be just like this mother now. You either go find them fathers to get them to take care of you, or you move out. Now, the only other thing I may do, I may keep the two kids so they're not on the street or anything like that. But I'm not taking care of you anymore because I know you know the difference when you out there carrying on and screwing around and not taking anything, and you just keep bringing babies here. It's not going to happen.
Well, that's pretty much the plan. But I think the question is, are we talking about a minor or are we talking about an adult? I think that's what people are going to ask.
Well, she has to be an adult. She's a young woman. She's not a teenager. She's not a teenager. She's not a teenager. So she's a young woman.
Well,
Isn't it? Mhm.
yeah. See, I mean, that's a difference when you're talking about a adult here that continues to have multiple children with no financial means to take care of them. Like, I mean, I agree. I would help you with one. I might help you with two, but after three, it feels like you're just using me at this point, and that you're not going to get the message.
Right.
Um, I might give the $3,000 and send you on your way, and that's it.
I have to agree with you, Tiffany. I would probably put in some effort into helping her find a place, even if it's a nice shelter for helping with programs that help pregnant women take care, find a new way instead of repeat patterns, whether it's learning a skill and getting a job afterwards. There are some good homeless shelters there for women that help them go beyond the rat race or the hamster wheel that they're on and break that pattern because she is too comfortable at home.
Mhm.
That is too
No,
much
no, but
comfort.
no, but the thing is, she wants to sue the mother for neglecting her and not helping her take care of
Well,
the
we know that.
newborn
Well,
coming and
that's
the
a
kids.
privilege.
So where are you getting off suing your mother for something that you have caused?
Well, the thing is, well, what does that speaks to their relationship that she feels so entitled to be able to do whatever she wants to do at home and even entitled to sue her mother if she doesn't get what she wants. How was
Exactly.
she raised to think that way? That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, it's a frivolous lawsuit. Like, really, where is the negligence on the parent? Well, if you're talking about a grown person, they have no obligation to take care of you anymore, right? Anytime
Right.
they want to say, I'm done. I'm done. They're done. So, I mean, I wouldn't even, as the mother, I wouldn't even worry about that. And now you sued me, so you better believe that I don't have nothing else to say to you after this. Good luck, and good luck with your three kids, you know?
But the thing about it is, why isn't she reaching out to the fathers?
Well, what didn't you say
You
that she
have to
wasn't
know where
even
these
sure?
fathers are. So
She
why
didn't
wouldn't you be
even
reaching out to the fathers?
she didn't even know who the father was. Isn't that true?
Well, no, well, it just said that the mother told her to find the fathers,
Oh, okay, okay.
to reach out to the fathers,
Mhm.
for them to be taking care of the kids and stuff. So I guess it's one of those things, like how they have kids, and then next thing you know, the man ain't involved, and she just having them, and she probably meet somebody else, and
Right.
like do we have a store going here that we just keep having kids and thinking that
See, that yeah, that has to be broken. That cycle has to be broken. I do know a young woman that had two kids who, she was having problems getting it together, and she went into a shelter, and that shelter helped her learn a trade. She didn't have to pay rent or anything for a whole year, so she was able to work and live rent free. And when they well, no, you live rent free in a shelter. What I meant was they found her housing after she left the shelter. So she had a job, she had housing, and she did not have to pay rent for a whole year. And that's a great program to help a single
Well,
woman
that's
get
good.
it
I mean,
together.
the problem there is probably she doesn't really know what it's like to have to raise kids, and because her mother is there, and how to have to financially support them. So when you don't have that idea of what it's like, you think it's easy going. So you're more open to have more kids. If she really
yeah.
was with her on her own with these two kids, one maybe, and was really struggling and had to take care of herself, I bet you another one wouldn't have come.
Yeah, but the thing about it is how is she have to even with just the two kids before she even got pregnant, and she doesn't have a job working. I mean, I don't understand how you even letting her stay there without a job working, even with the kids and stuff. 'Cause I'm pretty sure you would probably the one who's mostly taking care of the kids. Why is she even there without a job?
Exactly. Yep.
Who taking care of her and all these kids? So if the mother's doing that I blame the mother too, because you're not staying with me and I have no job.
Exactly. That's called, what is that called? There's a word for that. What is that, Tiffany? You know that.
What word?
Lazy.
No, there's when the family is you're helping each other stay down.
Enabling
Enabling
them.
her,
Huh?
enabling.
Enabling, yeah.
Enabling them.
Codependency, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can't do that because you can see what's happening. That if the person is not working, and next thing you know, here we got another Susie or Danny or whoever.
Lord have it. And they're so cute. That happened with my brother. My brother was in love with this woman, and then they had a baby together, and then she's pregnant again, and it's by somebody else. And he refused to have that baby come. But she was so darn cute. My mother said, "Who's that cute little baby running down the hallway after my grandson?" And she just ran in the house with him. She said, "Oh, it was over then." Once she came in the house one time, because she was banned by my brother. But once she got in that house one time, she was in.
But see, the sad part about it is you don't want to take it out on the kids. You don't want to see
Right.
nothing happen to them. You don't want to see them suffer either. So that's why I said I might would just take the two kids, and you just gonna have to go on and
Yeah.
find out what needs for you to happen to be done.
Yeah, you don't want them to suffer. And you could make them make her take care of her kids, but still be there to support her and make sure the kids are taken care of without really physically being there to have all the responsibility. Because then she has to learn what the responsibility is.
Yeah, but it's harder when you're in the same house. If she had her own place where you would go over there and help out, then come on back home, it's a
Mhm.
difference because most of the work is going to be on her, and that way you would think about it twice before you go out there and start having some more again. But when you living in that house and you know you got a inside babysitter, inside person who's gonna go shop, you ain't worried about anything like that,
Mhm.
and
Well,
you just
moral of the story, ladies, um, don't have kids if you can't financially take care of them, And please don't sue your mother, who's the one that's helping you.
Absolutely not.
So, with that said, I know everyone has heard about this shooting at the Correspondence Dinner with Trump and all the other
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
administration there, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm. Well, see,
Um,
my take on that is that the guy, Cole, I think his name Cole Allen, that they arrested. So they want to charge him for trying to assassinate the president, but he didn't say he was after Trump per se. He just said he was after the administration. So he could have been after the Congress people or anybody to shoot them. I mean, he might have eventually got to Trump, but that's not how it started off. I think they just trying to get the highest felony against him when you say you trying to kill the president. And then with all of that going on, here you got Kimber and Melania going at it against each other, talking about the hatred that caused the incident at the correspondent when you know that's not even true. Now you know that's not true.
I mean, I think this is all a distraction from what's
Yeah,
really going on here.
absolutely.
Once again, we have you not fully knowledgeable about what these Epstein files are. They stopped talking
Hmm.
about that, but not even to mention that we have this war going on where he thought that, he was going to come in and bully Iran and
Hmm.
take whatever he wanted and everything was going to be okay. And it didn't happen that way.
No.
And now it's having a ripple effect on the United States. And now that's what I think this is all about.
Yeah,
You're right. I'm sure
absolutely.
you're 100%
Yeah.
right to distract. But the thing about it is, how how do you come in accusing someone of spreading hatred when everything comes out of your husband's mouth is something about hatred or calling somebody stupid, ugly, or whatever? And so you feel that's all right for him to can say that, but they shouldn't say it to you. Now, where do you come off with that?
Well, they have terms for that, right?
Hmm.
What is that?
When you can dish it out, but you can't take it.
No accountability,
Like I
narcissism.
can do it, but you can't. Right.
Right,
Hmm.
but they even trying to get the FCC to get him off the air and all. Where do you come up with this stuff? This is what I'm
I
saying.
haven't. Look, if
Now,
I could get in that head, if I could get in that head,
I don't even
boy,
think you want to
I
be in
feel like
there.
that, but
It
that's
would scare you. It probably would scare you if you was in
no,
it.
no. But the thing about it is, when you look at, I'm looking at her, and she talking about, oh, it was so hateful. Is this and this? And I'm saying, well, I know you and him probably don't sleep in the same room in the same house, so you would know that he's full of hatred. How you don't know that? I
Because
mean, give me a
it's a
break.
terminology for that go hand in hand with narcissism. It's called flying monkeys, and those type of people are delusional to the narcissist who they believe is correct in their behavior.
We're gonna
well,
take a quick break and we're gonna come back with the rest of Tiffany's comments. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah, it's Shannon. Oh yeah, it's Shannon. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, on Facebook, YouTube. It's on tonight. It's Prime for 30 minutes. Join the chat. Hot topics, movers, shakers. How about that? Smart, outspoken. Don't miss a beat. It's true. Keeping it real with Shannon tonight. The hottest show in the city lights. It's Shannon. Oh yeah. It's Shannon. Keeping it real.
back to the show. We was talking about the correspondence dinner, and I'm sure you all see the same thing that we see, that being that this happened the way it did, it just continues the cover up that was taking place before. So, Tiffany, before we went to break, you was making a comment.
I was I was just talking about how people who hang around narcissistic people, such as Trump, that I believe, highly believe is a narcissist, they are delusional to their own behavior, and that they think that what they do is okay. They don't see the wrong in the stuff that they do. And you're right. The man spews so much hatred in this world, and the fact that Melania can't see that, it's crazy. But I think what people are just tired now. It's the world is becoming so stressful at this point that I think people are just tired. When I saw it, that's all I could think about was,
You're absolutely right because
something need to happen.
he is an educated man. He didn't have no reason to even to be doing what he did. So for him to go to that point, I said probably in his mind when he was thinking something else was going on, and he just said, "Look, I just like you just said, I've had enough of this." You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, because I just don't see someone like that just get up that morning and just decide that I'm going to go do that. This has been brewing for a while, and then for you to travel all the way from California, to get here, and not only that, this is your third time of somebody trying to get rid of you,
Yes.
and
I
she doesn't,
know.
and Melania doesn't see that.
Well,
She
well,
doesn't
you
see.
have to realize. I mean, you have to realize if why are they hiding one half of the Epstein files? It, it almost seems to me like desperate behavior. You're trying so hard not to have something released that you're starting fires every that you just imagine you do not want something to happen, something that could ruin your life, and so you just think of just ridiculous, things to do.
Yeah, but the thing about it is,
Allegedly,
we know
if this
there's
really
something.
happened,
We know
God
there's
bless
something in
him.
that file that
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
want seen. Everybody knows that. But the thing about it is that is not going to stop people. People are upset now because of gas prices. People can't keep up with their bills, their light bill. This is stuff
but
that
isn't that all a distraction too? If
no,
we if
it's a
we're focused
distraction.
on
But
our
what I'm
own,
saying
yeah,
is because because the people are suffering. When
right,
you can't buy enough food for your family
right.
and pay your light bill, and maybe you might be sitting up there in the dark or something, and now you can't afford gas to get to work and stuff like that. That's what people are upset and stressed out about now. And if you are to the point that you can't take care of your family and feed your family, you're gonna do what you have to do. And if people have to rob somebody to get it, that's
Oh
exactly what they're
Lord.
gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah.
And it
What are
is
you gonna?
becoming stressful for people to pay their bills at this point. Everything is going up in cost, and the money that you made before is just not cutting it anymore. And
And
yes,
and
you
what
want
he
to
and
educate.
what he says, oh well, we know the people are suffering, but they can suffer a little bit longer, so we can make things better. How are you telling people they can suffer a little
Because
bit
he ain't
longer?
never suffered a day in his life. That's why he doesn't care. Because if you suffered in your life, you would say, "I don't want anybody to have to go through that. What other channels can we take?"
And they telling you why they coming after you. He said, I don't like your policies, the way you're treating people and everything, and that's why people are coming after you. So
Right,
don't you get it?
right. Well,
Both of
there.
them, him and Melania. I don't know why all of a sudden she's speaking out because she ain't never said nothing hardly since they've been
Well,
Because her
under.
behind in them Epstein files. That's
right,
why.
because I think you know what isn't one of her best friend wasn't one of her best friends sent back home, and her husband who is still here has the child, and so I believe that there's a link with. I mean, I feel that they're all associated with the files, but that's
Oh
all
no, she's
speculation.
associated for the file. Didn't you see the
Yeah,
pictures
I
of her
believe that
and
I
Epstein
believe that
together?
she was coerced to have to do that. I don't think that she
Mhm.
really wanted to do that. That was a coercion.
Well, she
But
looked happy in the picture to me. She didn't look like that he was holding her hostage or anything. She
oh,
stand up
I
there.
don't mean that. I mean when she got up in the middle of nowhere and started to speak about
To
it.
speak about it when
That's what I
nobody
mean.
was
That
speaking
wasn't
about
something that
it.
she had planned.
Yeah,
that was something that she was trying to put out another fire.
Exactly.
Fires. Did you hear about the website that teaches husbands how to violate, you know, grape their wives? And I even heard that one woman was raped by her husband for 20 years and had over 300 men at the house over that period of time to have favor with his wife while she was drugged and out of it. She'd wake up bruised and not understanding what happened. And these are women that trusted their husbands. And I would like to play this clip. I'll be right back.
If you are somebody that has to grape your wife, you are a piss poor partner. You are a criminal piece of shit and somebody that shouldn't be in a relationship in any way, shape, or form. And if you're a man that's involved with one of my daughters and I find out that you're on this list, you better fucking pray the cops get to you before I do.
He said it in a nutshell. What do you think?
Enough said. It's disgusting. I always say, this is disgusting how a lot of men treat women, and it happens in your own home with its husbands that are disrespectful. It's not even shocking. You wouldn't believe the percentage is very high, how many husbands have raped their wives or significant others, any of that type, because uh, I can't even explain what goes on in their heads and to why they would do such things.
Well, well, I mean, well,
You
I
speak.
mean,
You
I know,
speechless.
it's like
You are
no,
speechless.
because I can't say really what I want to say because when I said that one time before about when domestic violence and like I said to one of my friends, like, but why do you stay with it? Why don't you just leave? And you can't say that because everybody's not like you. You know what I'm saying? Because see me. I ain't staying there because first of all, I'm gonna fight you like a man, and then after that, I'm gone because I'm not staying with anybody that I got to fight. And you're not gonna be abusing me and think you can knock on me whenever you get ready. That's not
Yeah,
happening.
but that's not what this is about. These men were taught how to use specific drugs that would put their wives to sleep. These women were out of it. They were not available for sex. They were slipped a Mickey. They were trusting of their husbands. They didn't know what was happening. They were oblivious. Maybe they didn't want to know, but they did not suspect their husbands. These are women that did not suspect their husbands.
But I'm a little confused then. So if they slipped them some drugs, right? So you didn't know what was going on. So now when you wake up, you know something have happened to you. You know something has happened. Even with the body, you know if somebody has intruded on you and stuff like that. So something is telling you something. And you said this is going on for years. And
Which
I
in
can't
some
believe that you can
cases, in some
say
cases,
that
they
you didn't know something was going
in
on.
some. Well, what do you think, Tiffany?
I mean, I'm I'm trying to figure out myself is to say, okay, if you felt like something wasn't right, like what were you doing? How come you just kept
Yeah,
staying? I mean, even putting up as simple as putting up just to confirm to make sure you're not going crazy because
that's
something
right.
ain't
Yeah,
right.
that's a good
So you
idea to
can
put
get
up
out. Yeah.
cameras. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, because like I say, men, like you said, the men have been accused of raping their wives. Because then
Yeah.
a lot of them would say, "Well, how can you say I'm raping you because I'm your husband?" So my thing is, yeah, you might be my husband, but if I say no, it means no. It's the
Right.
same thing as some outside person that's not my husband, is trying to get to me, and I'm saying no, no, I don't want. And so it's no. So that means if you throw me down and attack me, so that means you're trying to rape me then.
Well,
So I
that's
feel
why
that's
this
the same way
website.
with the husband.
That's why this was created because they know it's wrong. So they actually were selling the drugs and teaching them how to administer the drugs. Maybe these were. I really, I didn't, I don't know what kind of families they were. Maybe they were people that drank every night before bed, and so they were already a little. I have no idea,
Or they could
but
have put it in the drink. Like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
probably a
They
drug to
they
put
were
it
the
in
men went on the
clothes.
site. It was over 60 million hits on the site to learn how to do it and get away with it. It wasn't that they were doing things and oh, it was an obvious grape. It was how to do it subtly and get away with it.
But
So
isn't that
It
disgusting that
doesn't make
you're
sense.
saying there's 60 million? I think you
Yeah,
said 60 million,
60
right?
million hits.
Then
It doesn't
that
mean
yes, hits. So that means that was views. That there was
yes.
60 million men out here viewing something that disgusting.
Wanting to yeah, yeah,
That speaks
absolutely.
volumes right there.
It does speak volumes.
well, I don't understand why they figure they would have to rate their own wife.
Do
Why would you
you ever,
drug? Why do you feel you have
do
to
you know
drug
they
your
say
own
not
wife?
tonight, not tonight, or who
Mhm.
knows why they do it? Who knows? We would have to interview these men because
Well, if they drugging them, then what good is the sex? Because if you drugged and knocked out,
well,
then
obviously they just want to do what they want to do and don't want to please their wives. They're not interested
Well,
in
it's
pleasing
not
their wives.
about that. Yeah,
Right,
that's
right,
not what
right.
it's about. It's about seems like it's about control, one. Two, it's about like Carol said, well, then you're not gonna give it to me, so I'm just gonna take it. I'm
But
gonna
now
get
I
it one
right,
way
but
or
now
the
I
other.
know that
Yeah.
I can go to jail for taking it. So now I learned a way to take it where you can't even
Because you can't prove
point a
you won't be
finger.
able to
Right,
prove it.
right.
You won't be able to prove
but that's
it.
my point. I'm still a little confused about. Okay, so even if they drug you, right? So even if they drug me and I'm knocked out, so when you wake up, you can tell somebody has done something to you.
But
Well,
you have no
if you
proof.
have an active life with your husband and you do something Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he wants 3 times a day, every day or every day, I wouldn't know because that's not my frequency.
But there's no way that you can prove that you all you saying is you're gonna tell them, oh, I feel funny, like something don't feel
Right.
right. You have to have more evidence than that to prove great, because even just in a situation where, and that's what they always say, legally, like grape is like the hardest thing to kind of
Yeah.
prove.
They
It's
were saying they were waking. Some of them were waking up bruised, but they didn't know why. But ladies, we can
Well,
go
this
on
is
and
what
on
I'm
about
saying.
this.
This is my point. If you woke up and your thing is bruised, wouldn't you go to the doctor to try to find out what's going on?
Right, I would.
I don't.
But
I,
there's some women are if they're taken care of by their husbands or they don't want to lose their man, they don't question certain things. They don't. Their mind doesn't go certain. If they're living a good life in other ways, you know. But we
Mhm.
can talk on and on about it. But guess
I don't understand.
this is a wonderful place to
Oh
put a
gosh.
period and say, you know
Well,
what?
let me tell you, ladies, y'all, if y'all feeling sluggish and don't know what happened the next morning, I'm telling you, you better go and get yourself checked, or you better sit up all night or something. Because I don't get it. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And don't forget to watch us every Saturday on Brink at 5:30 and Manhattan Neighborhood Network at 2:30. And as always, we'll see you next time.